Hey, good morning, Monday morning. Good Monday morning from the office. I am your host, BKP. Left my glasses on the coffee table this morning, but that'll be okay. Welcome to July 1st, 2019. This is 4th of July week, which will be Thursday. I'm not going to get into, because this is where I get in a lot of trouble, like communities that celebrate and do 4th of July fireworks on Saturday, on Friday, parades. I just want to say, from me, 4th of July is Thursday, period. How about the soldiers that maybe would have fought for our independence, or the founding fathers that had the guts to sign? Do you realize the minute they signed that document, oh Lord, the king would be hot, jumping mad, jumping. Those damn people are out of line over there. We got to do something about it. Anyhow, what if they, I'll be there Tuesday, I'll be there Thursday. Nope, 4th of July is Thursday. So, hey, anyhow, that was my little something. Let's get serious, and I mean this. Let's get serious. I don't want to take the time to go over whether Kamala Harris is black. I'm serious. That's serious. Not yet. Not yet. We will later in the show. The dumbasses, and this is serious, the dumbasses, any media that you are watching, deep state media this morning, and the dumbasses are spinning their heads off, okay, over Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States, stepping over into North Korea, okay? Now, Josh, I told you earlier, I sent you a lot today to work with, okay? Do you have 71? Okay, if you have 71, go ahead and put it up when you do. Now, this is the line. We're going to be serious, because I want to take on the dumbass media. Totally dumbass. You see, first of all, President Trump has to engage. So every time the media comes on, it says he is negotiating, he is talking to, he is coddling this evil dictator that's killing his own people, kills his brother, kills his enemies. Okay? They will not provide you the real news. So this is not going to be boring, but I want to directly go at the deep state media that is continually going crazy that President Trump is coddling. Photo op. This is called a photo op. Now, what you see there is the demilitarized zone. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And that concrete barrier is the line. President Donald J. Trump is standing in South Korea, okay? Kim Jong-un is standing in North Korea. They like each other. Trump has to do two things. Remember, President Barack Hussein Obama, okay, told Trump what will keep you up at night is North Korea. So we're going to go into a couple things that the media won't talk about. Asia is a tinderbox. Now, they keep talking about Iran, okay? All right, well, they keep talking about Iran. I get it. But Asia could be set off at any minute. North, South Korea, Japan, the Philippines, Russia, got to keep an eye on Russia up there, China, negotiation over tariffs, economic territory. There's so much there. Asia could happen at any time. Trump had to defuse it. Okay, so we haven't seen the results from their denuclearization or agreement with Trump. You know what? They're not quite shooting nuclear warheads over the top or missiles of Japan right now, okay? They're not quite putting Seoul, South Korea on alert right now, okay? So let me tell you something. when it comes to Japan and South Korea? Have you ever stopped to look at the number of military troops? What if this guy wiped out Seoul, South Korea? We'll get into that in a minute. Just wiped it out overnight. Do you realize the dumbass media have absolutely no care whatsoever for the U.S. military men and women in Japan, is it Okinawa, and Seoul, South Korea, or all of South Korea? No compassion whatsoever. Well, if this little guy just got mad, Trump has to engage. Trump has two choices. What he's doing now, taking his time, killing him with kindness, accepting the guy as a person. I understand. Oh, he's an evil dictator that kills us. Look, the only way to stop his people from starving and maybe bring this country along into the next century is for what Donald J. Trump is doing now. He's being praised all over the world. Do you realize the true area that does not like, or when I say does not like Trump, that our deep state media tries to spin is in Europe? You ever notice it's European leaders and European allies? They love Donald Trump in Asia. They love him in Japan. They love him in Vietnam. They love Donald Trump in Vietnam. They love Donald Trump in Seoul, South Korea, in Indonesia, Philippines. I guarantee that. And I'm going to explain why. First, can we go to that video? Let's do the little video of President Trump stepping over that line. Let's do that. Okay, can we get there? Yeah. Yeah, the one from Twitter that I told you I wanted early on. Tell me if you got that? All right, there you go, Joe.
It used to be very dangerous, very dangerous. After our first summit, all of the danger went away.
You are terrific people. You've done a fantastic job, and we're with you all the way. You know this. Would you like me to step across? I'll be very proud to do it. Okay, let's do it.
I said, hey, I'm over here. I want to call to Chairman Kim. And we got to meet and thank you.
The relationship that we've developed has meant so much to so many people, and I want to thank you. It's been great. It's been great.
Folks, that absolutely brings tears to my eyes. I would like for you to Google sometime today how many men we lost in the Korean War. Not a conflict, the Korean War. I'd like for you to see that. I'd like for you to see how many North Koreans were lost, how many South Koreans were lost, how many Chinese. Trust me, is it something like 3 million? I don't know. Google it. Seriously, it's big numbers. Okay? Eisenhower put that demilitarized zone together there. Dwight D. If I remember, we'll go into that in just a minute. The peace house was set there. You do realize the war is not, it's an armistice agreement. I tried to pronounce that 3 times. You do realize there's just an agreement between North and South, but there's no peace treaty. Do you realize the war is not officially over? That had to shoot the Secret Service's nerves. That had to shoot the U.S. military's nerves. I mean, it just did. I mean, I think they all have guts. I'm not taking them to task. But just think, I mean, the U.S. military was in 1953. Let me go there for just a minute. It was created in, let's see, 1953. Wow, I remember that. 1953, it was created there. And there's never been a president. Now, let's absorb this for a minute. There's never been a president walk across that line First president, 1953, that walked into North Korea. Our president of the United States was in North Korea. A country that officially we are still at war with. A country, a very dark country that when he walked in, I'm not saying something could have happened, but you realize our military was set and ready. Our Secret Service was set and ready. Trump had a set. Now, I know you don't like that, but I have to tell you, he had. Now, this guy here, and just going into there, here's number 76. And I'm not making light of it. There's Obama looking in. So that's North Korea. Yeah. That's it. What a visual. What a visual this morning of this young boy. Oh my God, Cory Booker's going to tweet at me now that I said boy. I mean, that was offensive. Sorry about that, Mr. President Barack Hussein Obama. This is him looking in. Okay? Number 77. There's the military pointing. Yes, that's the place right over there that you don't have a set of balls big enough to walk across. I know, that was wrong. That you do not have the nerve to go across. That's it right over there. I know. But it's okay if Cory Booker says SH asterisk, and it's okay. Forget it. We're not going there. So anyhow, so let's look at a couple things in the Asian 28. Now, I want to stay serious for a minute because the media is not going to do this. All right. We did a segment here on 24 years of failed policy. Here you go. This is a quick map. This is North and South Korea. If you go to the far top of North Korea, you will see a small sliver of border with Russia. How come you didn't smack Vladimir Putin across the chops and say, hey, don't meddle in our election? Why'd you make fun of it? Oh, yeah, that's what I really need to do because right now I have this whole North Korean, nuclear missile situation, tariffs with China, sanctions on Russia. We will get to that. Now, look at North Korea. See the Chinese border? Look at the Russian border. Look at North Korea. Look at Seoul, South Korea. Now, I'm not for sure. I'm just going to take a shot. Seoul, South Korea is 28 miles from the border. Okay? So let me look at this very quickly. Folks, the President of the United States, dumbass. They are total dumbasses. These are the media. Let me fly on the damn plane with you, Mr. President, so we can tell the world the damn truth. Instead of letting these dumbasses ride with you. Seoul, South Korea, right there, 28 miles, okay? Let me give you just two things. We're going to go over just a couple quick things. The population of Seoul, South Korea in 2016 is estimated, this is 2016, at 10.29 million people. Over 10 million people 28 miles from that North Korean border. Well, Trump is just wanting a picture with an evil, cruel dictator. No, maybe he wants to save the life of 10.2 million people that this guy was ready to take out. They love this guy in Seoul, South Korea. I don't care what you say, no matter what media tells you. Let me tell you something. When Barack Obama was looking over, no joke, can you just grab any one of those? I don't care. And then go back to this one. I know I sent you a lot. And this is not joking. When Barack Hussein Obama is looking over and not joking around, South Korea is wondering what day they're going to be attacked. Don't forget, remember in that White House meeting, supposedly Barack Obama said, what will keep you up night is North Korea. Trump's doing the gentle, when you have a hostage crisis, okay? You have negotiators trained, okay, to go talk quietly to them. When you have somebody out on the ledge ready to jump, they train negotiators to go say, hey, you want to live. There's so much. I mean, you can take that serious if you want. Trump's using the negotiator look, you guys want to live approach. There's no reason to set off something that's going to just destroy every country around. He is taking them down. He got, whether you want to believe it or not, he got Chairman Kim to climb back in the window. Use that visual. You know, don't launch anything at Japan. Don't launch anything at South Korea. Climb back in the window. Come in. Talk to us. Okay? I'm serious. I'm not making fun. That's where he's at. Because Trump had two decisions. Choices, period. Donald Trump had to engage. Had to. No choice. Clinton failed. Madeleine Albright, the plastic Walmart flowers. Okay? Dennis Rodman's failed. Came the closest. Do you believe that our foreign policy in North Korea, the closest we've come to doing something productive is Dennis Rodman? Holy mackerel. Anyhow, failed, okay? George W. Bush failed at many things. Barack Hussein Obama failed. Nobody could. Trump got him to come off the ledge and get back in the room, whether you like it or not. He had two choices. Wipe the man clear off the face of the earth and start all over in North Korea. And trust me, China and Russia up there were not going to be happy with that. If they would have American influence that strong on those two borders, you would have had a problem. You got to remember, the dumbass, I mean the absolute dumbass media, never talks about how many Chinese were killed in this original war. Okay? Go Google it. So China doesn't want to send another 1 million people down there. They don't. They don't want people killed anymore. So they're going to try to work things out. Russia, but they don't want American influence that close to their border. So the first thing Trump had to do was threaten to wipe the man off the face of the earth. Look, I'll wipe you off the face of the earth. Rocket Man, don't play no games because I will. All right? And then he started sending messages. Look, you don't want that. You don't want what I can do. My button is bigger than your button. Don't play games. My button works. Remember that? My button works. Don't play games, dude. Don't play games. It ain't worth it. Okay? And he's got him nicely patting him on the back, talking. That's my opinion. Now, the other thing, President Trump also takes into consideration, like I said, that just over 10 million people live 28 miles south of this evil dictator. Let's say another thing, all right? Let me just throw this out here. 23,468. Now, this is on Google, so I don't know if I can trust it. 23,000. Now, I don't know out of the 10.29 million, excuse me, if they include our soldiers, but we have 23,468 American soldiers in South Korea. 23,468 soldiers in South Korea. Now, we haven't even talked about Japan, Okinawa. We haven't talked about how many people are in Tokyo that this guy could shoot a missile. Not even close. We just stayed right here. Maybe Trump is concerned about that. Now, remember this right here, because we have to carry the boring load of some of this stuff. And here is, let's go with, can I get number, I could have sworn I sent it to you, but maybe I didn't. I think it was a Google pick. All right, it was a Google pick. I'm almost positive, and it didn't come through. So get me, that was 71. Let's go with this right here because I did. No, 30. Give me number 30, okay? All right? So This is Joe Biden and Hunter Biden getting off the plane. All right? Now, Joe Biden with Barack Hussein Obama's administration and his son, Hunter Biden, that secured the only deal by a Chinese-owned, well, they're all Chinese-owned, but the Chinese government gave Hunter Biden like $1.5 billion equity into his business. This is actually Joe and Hunter getting off the plane in China. Do you ever, the dumbass media, do you ever stop to think of what this president of the United States is trying to correct around the world? These two are so corrupt. Obama was so corrupt. While this was going on, the Japanese, my friend, and the South Koreans were begging the Asian area there, okay, Asia, we'll just call it Asia for a fact, but in South Asia, they were begging the Barack Obama administration, begging Joe Biden, do something about this. But Barack, they glossed over it. They allowed China to just tell them anything and do anything because they didn't want the tensions. I'm serious. If you think that Japan, South Korea, anybody in the South Asian Sea there liked Barack Hussein Obama and and Joe Biden. Now, everyone, and we'll go there later, every single one of these Democrat candidates that are coming out, let me go here, because let me tell you something. This is the biggest bunch of BS that the media could spin. They're going to try to do everything they can to stop this president from getting reelected. We'll talk about the meddling in the election. Number 60. Okay, we're going to come back to that picture. Don't lose that one. Yahweh. Is that what their name is? Talks resume in China, U.S.-China trade war. Kudlow says U.S. and China have agreed to 90%. Yahweh. Folks, do you think that Yahweh just started operating? Or do you think during the 8 years of Barack Hussein Obama and Joe Biden that they had full range to steal any and every bit of intellectual property we have in this country? How come we now, why if President Trump agrees to parts, that we can sell parts, but not technology? Oh my God, that'll set us all the way back. We better not even discuss that. Oh, that's a deal breaker. Why was it not, I will say to you, Marco Rubio, why was it not Republicans? Why was it not Democrat candidates? A deal breaker for 8 years that you knew. Don't let them lie to you about this company. They knew for 8 years. Go back to that picture. Well, there's Joe Biden and Hunter getting off the plane saying, hey, we're here. Steal all the intellectual property you want. Remember the other night on the debate stage? China is one of a great, China, a great threat. What is a great threat? China. Well, hell. China was a great threat while you were praising Barack Hussein Obama. Now, if you look at this right here, here's what President Trump knows. Let's go to number 62. We'll just pick one out, all right? All right. Trump makes history at demilitarized zone with Kim Jong-un, first sitting president to cross to North Korea. Okay, there's Chairman Kim, all right? Media is just gone crazy. We will get into how crazy in just a minute. Remember this right here, folks? Number 26. Do you know what that is? Well, that's an aerial view of a military island, man-made military island In the South China Sea, is it South China Sea? Man-made. In international waters. That Japan complained to the United States. Go Google the complaints to the United States, the black president, and the white guy as VP. You know, you think that, here's what happened. No humor right now. Well, President Obama lived at the White House. I wonder if a bus picked up Joe Biden and actually bussed him over to the meetings. Anyhow, they begged, our allies in Asia begged. Now you keep hearing NATO, and you keep hearing that the media wants to slap the crap out of Vladimir Putin over meddling in our elections. But this is the same media that wants to tell you that they're educated enough to bring you information on a daily basis. That don't look at the top of North Korea with that Russian border and that big China border. Anyhow, that being said, Japan begged the Obama-Biden administration to put a halt to that. China said, we're just building islands out there. Our rich folk are going to go there. They're going to get, they're going to drink Mai Tais. They're going to have, a luau. They're going to do the whole thing out there. It's going to be a destination, a vacation destination for our people. Look at those two inlets that hide their military equipment. Those are military bases, folks. Military bases. Let's go to 27. Here it would happen to be another one. There's a nice shot of an aerial view of not in Chinese waters. The argument that Japan made is that's in their area, their water, international. China just said the hell with everything because we got Biden's son and we got Joe Biden for $1.5 billion. We got Barack. Yahweh is stealing everything. Barack Obama's cool, all right? He's still he is fine as long as nobody bothers him. And we are stealing every single thing we can over his 8 years, not to count Clinton's or George W.'s, whether you want to put it like that. But the last 8 years with Obama has been a dream come true for our quest of world domination. Yeah, China's quest for world domination. Asia could go off at any time. 2 military bases. There's several islands, man-made islands. For what reason in the South China Sea? What reason? Their quest to take over all of the area, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, North and South Korea, eventually Japan. Wonder why. See, let me tell you something. We're going to go to break. I've run long, but let me tell you something right here. Go to 71. President Donald J. Trump knows every bit of that. Every single bit of that he knows. When he walked into, every single bit of that he knows when he walked up to that line. And I'm trying to find something else that the media has gone nuts over this morning. Or I was trying to find a clip. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hang on. I got to go to break. So, number 31. Trump steps foot into North Korea, lavishes praise on Kim. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's negotiating. Because everything I told you this morning, what China's done, everything I've told you this morning, 8 years that Yahweh has stolen, everything I told you this morning about Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and the corruption of the Obama administration with China and those islands out there, okay, everything I told you this morning with look at over 10 million people just in Seoul, South Korea, that he has threatened to clear off the face of the earth. What about our 23,000 soldiers? Everything I told you, demilitarized zone, everything I have told you this morning concerning how many Chinese died in the Korean War, Japan, Okinawa. See, that man right there, but the media, Trump steps foot, lavishes praise on Kim, says he would absolutely invite him to the White House. Mr. President, bring him to the White House. If that's what you think you got to do next, do it, because I think you're on the right track. I think you know and your team knows how sensitive that entire region is and how things could go up overnight and how we have to have enough influence in the region to bring this threat to a halt. I'm your host, BKP. I ran long. We are going to stay on this when we get back. We are going to get to Kamala Harris. Is she black? Is she white? Is she brown? Is she the first black female president? What the hell is she? And you know what I missed? I missed the pictures of all the pride parades. They're no longer the gay pride. They're pride parades in all the Muslim countries. I missed that. So, and I missed that representative in Michigan and that representative in Minnesota. I don't remember their names. I miss them being like the grand marshal in the pride parades. Take us to break.